Welcome back to Wake Up America Weekend. So the Democratic Party's nominee for New York City's mayor is certainly a hardcore socialist by any standard, and his ideas are only getting worse. For more on this, we are joined by GOP State Committeeman Dwayne Moore. Welcome, Dwayne.
Hi, thank you so much for having me.
So, got a couple of questions about this guy, Mamdani. Obviously, he's taken up a lot of oxygen. I think he is the poster child for the Democrat Party and where they're headed. Now, he's pushing for New York City to keep its sanctuary city status. But if the country's biggest city can't handle this burden, can any American city? What do you think?
First of all, sanctuary cities are illegal. The idea that you're going to have a city or a state literally not work with the federal government and impede federal laws when it comes to immigration is just wrong. And we have to ask, who are these people actually serving? The American citizens and the taxpayers, or anyone abroad, and saying that they have a right to be here? So I think that there needs to be a strong crackdown, regardless of who's the mayor, to make sure that there is a strong message sent that we are prioritizing American citizens. We had drug dealers coming across the border. We had terrorists coming across the border. And these are the people that the mayors are saying in blue cities that we want to protect. They're not even trying to work with the Trump administration to get the violent criminals out. So it's completely wrong, and it needs to be stopped immediately.
So, Dr. Tom, I want to ask you, obviously, we've got these sanctuary cities that exist right now. Why are the Democrats, after the defeating loss, the devastating defeat that they saw in 2024, why are they continuing to double down on illegal aliens? Why is that the marching mantra for the Democrat Party?
Well, TW, obviously, they're doubling down on stupid. That's the only way you could say it. Look, they're on the wrong side of almost every issue these days because their base is radical, and the radical base is feeding into these elected officials or wannabe elected officials like Mamdani. It's a cycle to the bottom. They're going to lose big time if they don't change strategies.
Well, to talk about double down on it, we saw, this week, Mamdani and Al Sharpton, they led a pro-DEI march on Wall Street just this Thursday. Now, they timed it to coincide with the 62nd anniversary of Martin Luther King Jr.'s Civil Rights era march. The interesting part about that is Martin Luther King's dream was all about judging people based on the content of their character, not on their skin color, which is the exact opposite of what DEI does. Deneen, what are your thoughts on this march? Did you go? What do you think here? And I'm going to ask you the same question, Dwayne.
Yeah, well, there's no character with either one of these two. Mamdani, I think, is a danger to society because he wants to defund the police. He despises law enforcement, wants to crack down on reducing crime for people. And he's opposed to charter schools, which I think is just outrageous. Disadvantaged children need all the help they can get, especially when it comes to a quality education. He would rather be on the team with the teacher unions than to be for teen children. This guy is an utter train wreck, and to be face to face with Al Sharpton, working with him, that speaks volumes.
Yeah, that tells you exactly where. But Dwayne, why in the world, I mean, again, we've seen this historically, why in the world is the Democrat Party trying to align African-American issues with those of illegals? Why is this happening, and what was your take on the march? Because that's exactly what it seemed to be to me. Why are they headed down this road?
Yeah, my dad always told me to be very, very cautious of trusting any black man that still has a perm in 2025. So I think it's just we have to be very honest about the professional race baiters, such as Al Sharpton, and people that always scream racism and want entitlement, but they don't want to actually focus on the core issues. 2025, about 70% of black kids are not proficient in English. Only about 5% are actually graduating in STEM-related fields. So then they want us to basically have government-engineered race at the end and saying, oh, we need to have black people do this and judge us on our face. But the reality is we're not doing enough to get there. There's a broken education system. We have broken families. And he's been profiting for longer than I've been alive on just screaming racism. Clearly, he's losing that fight. He needs to sit down. So we need to worry about why the Democrats seem to always want to make black people the poster child for their issues, while they have failed us since the 60s, since we've been voting for them. And Mamdani is just another person trying to put a new face and trying to get black votes and be down for the cause. And literally nothing that he's advocating will help the black community at all.
Dr. Tom, 20 seconds. Mamdani also did a bench press this week. Did you see it? I think everybody at this table could out bench press Mamdani. But give me your final 20-second thoughts on the infamous bench press that was DEI assisted by Mamdani.
Bench press fail. I mean, and what's amazing it just shows the man doesn't think. You don't do that on TV unless you know,
Unless you know.
you could do it.
That's exactly
there was no
right.
advance. The man just reacts to whatever he wants to react to. That's a danger. You have to think of action and consequences. His consequence was a big fail.
Poor judgment. Dwayne Moore, thanks so much for joining us. Borelli, stick around. We're going to have more with you for sure. Thanks, guys.